Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing this cold Monday, gloomy day?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, yes. Welcome to a Mother's Heart podcast. It's a podcast that I decided to start on behalf of my son, Jimmy Mitchell. God rest his soul. And this is a podcast where we discuss matters of the heart, right? Grief, um, what all comes with grief, just bringing awareness to our community about grief. So I wanted to create a safe space for us to come on here and discuss and talk about and just, let our hair down because I feel like it's a lot of people, still have the mentality sweep it under the rug or they just
hmm
don't deal with it. So this is a safe space where we can talk about it. So, and I wrote notes today, y'all. I want to introduce our guest today. She is a public figure, an author, a leader, certified grief educator. She is also Miss Plus America Elite 2025. And her name is Miss Trevi. Tell me,
Trevi Rose.
Trevi Rose, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, Trevi Rose, thank you for being on a Mother's Heart
Oh,
podcast.
thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Thank you, thank
Yeah, I
you,
appreciate
thank
you.
you. So we're just gonna free flow. We're gonna let it just, just rip. So tell us about yourself, where you're from. Let's
Okay.
start there.
All right. I am originally from New Jersey. Shout out to New Brunswick, in case anybody's watching.
Hey.
I am here currently in
Mhm.
Dallas. I've been here for almost 12 years,
Okay.
and I love being here. My full name is Trevilla Hodge, just in case like some people who don't call me Trevi Rose.
Yes.
Um, and I didn't. What was the other thing you wanted me to
Just
share?
just introduce yourself.
Okay, so I am a author. I have a children's book
Okay.
which highlights families that lose a child,
Mm-hmm.
and it allows them to talk to other siblings
Okay.
because I think people miss out on the fact that it's an opportunity to have a conversation, and it helps to guide them
Mm-hmm.
in having such a difficult conversation and a difficult transition in life. And it's the baby elephant with the blue balloon,
Mm-hmm.
and the blue balloon is a symbol for me, and I talk about that in my grief sessions as well,
Mm-hmm.
to give people the symbolism of grief and
Mm-hmm.
how it can be like a balloon being popped.
Oh
And we could talk
wow.
about that at one point if you would like.
I would love to.
Awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a playwright, um, a poet, writer, speaker,
Hey.
and yes,
Look.
currently, thank you, and currently holding dual titles for the Miss Plus America pageant system. Excited about that. And I also was named Woman of the Year Dallas for She
Mm-hmm.
is the Ish Girl.
Love it.
So I'm very excited, and just grateful to be here. But if anything, I'm a servant. I love to serve people.
Mm.
One of my favorite quotes is, "I don't dream in millions. I serve in them."
I love that.
Thank you.
Speak.
Thank you.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Okay, so the first question I have for you is what have you discovered about people battling with grief? Like, what's your first?
Honestly, that they need to be validated that it's okay.
Okay.
A lot of people suffer in the angst of I shouldn't be grieving,
Mm-hmm.
or like you said, sweep it under the rug,
Yes.
or I've been grieving too long because it's been over a whatever period of time. And I tell people over and over again, as much as I can,
Mm-hmm.
to not only validate them,
Mm-hmm.
but grief matters because someone or something mattered to you.
Absolutely.
And also, there's no timeline. Grief is with you. That's your companion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's never going to go away, but there is ways to navigate it. There's ways to work through even the deeper times, because sometimes you'll have a good day and nothing will bother you, and then there's sometimes that you don't want to get out of the bed or can't, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's the validation, especially for underrepresented communities that are not aware that there's someone like me, a grief educator, or there's safe spaces to talk at. So I love the fact that you're doing this podcast
Thank
to create another safe
you.
space, because we need them. We do. We need them. And When I got my certification, I realized that during that time I was the 1% because there were hundreds of people online
Mm-hmm.
with David Kessler, who I love. He's my teacher and my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Really love David Kessler. He's known as the top grief expert in the world.
Is
So
he?
yes, and I still am shocked how I got into the program,
Mm.
but it was meant to be. And he has taught me a lot, and I'm an alumni,
Mm-hmm.
so I still continue my work with him to learn and be more of a resource as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But you would be shocked of how many people that don't look like us that are going down this avenue. So
Right.
one of my biggest goals is to be in a space where I can honestly be a representation and just help. So this is why I do a lot of stuff for free right now,
Okay.
just because people need to know that there's people like me that are there to help you. Mm,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Me, myself personally, I have a grief counselor, Dr. Tanya Cunningham. I
awesome.
don't know if you're familiar with her.
Hmm.
She's in Fort Worth, and I've been seeing her since my son passed away, a little few
Okay.
months after that.
Hmm.
And when I tell you that is an appointment, I don't care what is happening, what's going on. Faithfully, once a month, I go, and that has truly helped my healing journey
That's awesome.
100%. Um,
I'm proud of you for that. A lot of people went and shared or either do it because we're just taught to, you know,
Not
like
deal.
right, life
Mm-hmm.
happens
Yeah.
and we still have to keep living, and then you're not living out loud, and you can live in your grief out loud as well in a
Yes.
healthy way. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like initially when it first happened, I know I tried to go back into my life
Hmm.
like it was normal, like just go back into, my normal routine.
Hmm.
And then it just hit, and then I found myself in a place of, okay, what do I do with this? So, what would you tell a person that they just lost someone? And, there's the stages,
Hmm.
the shock,
Hmm.
like what advice or what would you tell someone that just lost someone?
Well, first there is something called an acute stage. I know we have the traditional stages that
Hmm.
we speak about,
Yeah.
right? And David says there's a sixth stage called acceptance.
Okay.
And but I want to talk about like the where you are. Honestly, when you are grieving and the person just passed, or
Right.
if a relationship ended and someone is still here, because grief is not just someone passing.
I love that.
And
Yes.
so you have different aspects of grief, but we're going to talk about someone passing away.
Okay.
You're in an acute state of grief.
Hmm.
So acute is very it's severe. Like you are in a space where any and everything can just not be okay for you.
Hmm.
And it's okay to not be okay.
Hmm.
And it's okay to say, I don't know what to do
Hmm.
or what is my next step.
Hmm.
Sometimes, if it's just getting up and getting dressed or just waking up and saying, I'm just going to lay here,
Hmm.
honor where you are. And I think a lot of the times we don't honor where we are
Hmm.
in life. We feel like we should be doing more, or I shouldn't feel this way because so and so had it worse than I did, or I know someone who lost this and this and this and this, and it's like, but what about you? Let's bring it to you. Let's center you because you're important. Your
Yes.
grief is important.
Yes.
What you feeling and where you are is very valuable and it's important.
Hmm.
And if you honor that, then we could talk about moving to the next phase. And then also outward expression of grief is mourning. You may
Hmm.
want to do something to celebrate that person or to remember that person.
Hmm.
But you don't have to be there a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Hmm.
Uh, After the first year, then some counselors will say, educators will say, you're at the beginning stages of grief.
Right.
And a lot of people will be shocked, like, so day one, I'm not at the beginning stages of grief. You're
Hmm.
not,
Yeah.
because you're in a space where this is a new normal. What
Whew.
do I do now?
Yes.
And you could be, and I always like to give this analyzation where you could grieve the same person. So say for instance, my mother passed away
Okay.
and there were hundreds of people at her service.
Hmm.
She had 3 children
Hmm.
and she had a lot of extended children.
Yes.
Everybody had to grieve her differently because everybody had a different relationship with her.
That's true.
She was a mother, yes, and she was married at one time. She was a wife. She was a
Hmm.
daughter, sister,
Hmm.
aunt, cousin,
Hmm.
big sister to many, a matriarch to some.
Yes.
But the reality is everybody relationship with her was different. So everybody grief showed up different.
Wow,
And
that's
there's no
huge.
comparison in grief because what you had with that person was exclusive to you. So
Hmm.
your grief is going to be exclusive to you as well. And I think a lot of the times we don't hear people say that to validate that for them.
Okay. My condolences too
Thank
on
you.
your mom. Yeah, because
Thank
I know
you.
that's it's hard. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like me personally, um, I have a business. I'm a
Hmm.
hairstylist,
Okay.
and I have other children, and you know, also with grief, life does not stop. Right? You still have other children to parent.
Hmm.
The bills still have to be paid. The
Hmm.
business still has to run.
Hmm.
Like, what would you tell someone that's trying to just juggle everything? Because mentally, you have to show up
Yeah.
as best as you can.
Hmm.
And I just remember, even when my son was in the hospital, I had people calling wanting me to do their hair. Because
Hmm.
initially, when everything first happened, I was just like, there was emergency. I didn't want to
Hmm.
tell too much. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
still just trying to mentally deal with him being in the hospital,
Hmm.
right? I'm just dealing with that. So I still have customers calling me wanting their hair done, and I'm telling them, this is not a good time, but they're still
Hmm.
like, what advice would you give? Like, still having to live somewhat of a normal life,
Hmm.
because like you
Yeah.
said, it's a new normal.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So how do you
So first, I want to, of course, my heart goes out to you and my condolences to you as
thank
well.
you, thank you.
You're welcome. The we have a way of putting extra guilt on us,
Yes.
especially when people still need us,
Mm-hmm.
and you need you at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm not saying don't go pay your bills because you have to
Right.
pay your bills, right? But
Mm-hmm.
at the time when you just say, right now, I need this moment, I need this day.
Mm-hmm.
It could be several days. I need this day.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel guilty because you need it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, because you need you and for you to get back to a space where you can operate and function,
Mm-hmm.
right? And not
Mm-hmm.
saying get back to where you were, but
Right.
just to function in a
Oof.
space,
Yes, Lord.
you have to be okay with needing you.
Mm-hmm.
And just know that. And you could, and like you told them, right now, I just won't be able to do this, but I'll get back to you when I can.
Mm-hmm.
And no is a complete sentence.
It
It
is.
is. No is such a wonderful word.
It's my favorite new word. I
Okay.
use it a lot now.
Okay. Just like yes,
No.
yes is a good word, but no is a good word. And some people may not know how to say no directly, and that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
But you can say, I would love to be able to do this for you right
Mm-hmm.
now, but I'm not able to.
Okay.
And just give them that gentle way of saying no. Doesn't have to
Yes.
be like, no, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, because delivery is
Delivery is
everything.
especially if you need some, you got to pay your bills. You want to be mindful to keep your clientele or
True.
have the same relationship with coworkers and things of that magnitude, right?
True.
And this is another reason why I'm doing what I'm doing because when I was younger, we were taught that you don't have feelings. You know how many times I heard that as a child?
Oh,
You
me
don't have
too.
feelings.
Oh, my grandmother was notorious.
And
Like,
you be like, okay. So then when things show up, it's like, well, I'm not supposed to feel because I don't have feelings. I'm just supposed to deal with this. No,
yeah.
you have feelings.
Right.
There's a whole feelings wheel that is available for you to
Is
look
it
at. Yes, it
really?
is.
I need
I
that.
will give it to you. I will
Please.
email it to you. There's a feelings wheel.
Mhm.
Again, I learned that from being a 1%. Did not
Mhm.
know that was available to
Mhm.
even give you words to use for the word sad or feeling lonely. There's other adjectives that go and you can express that in a way.
Mhm.
And if people don't hear you, that's okay too,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes some people because they don't know how to deal with someone who's grieving,
Mhm.
they don't want to acknowledge it.
I found that
Hmm.
some people told me because I felt like initially when my son first passed away, I was flooded, right?
Hmm.
People calling and and once the funeral and everything, it was radio silence. And that's when, like, it's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You're left dealing with grief, your life, just everything. And I had a couple of people tell me that they didn't know what to say.
Right.
So they stayed away.
Mm-hmm.
And although I understand, it really cut like a knife
Mm-hmm.
because that's when you need your people.
Right. Right.
Even if it's, I don't know what to say,
Mm-hmm.
but I love you, I'm here for you,
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah.
But just to completely avoid me,
Mm-hmm.
that was very hurtful.
Yeah.
That was very hurtful.
And I really, my heart goes out to you that to go through that,
I
because
did.
a lot of people go through that, and that's another reason why I decided to go this route,
Hmm.
because people don't know what to say, but you said it perfectly.
Hmm.
I don't know what to say, but I'm here. Excuse me.
Hmm.
Excuse me, but I'm here.
Hmm.
That is the greatest statement you can make. Lead with your honesty and lead with your vulnerability,
Okay.
and tell someone, I wish I had the words, but I'm here.
Right.
I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to be present. I
Yes.
may not relate to what you're going on. I
Hmm.
don't need to take my grief and what I've been through or
Hmm.
experienced, if I have, and say, I understand what you're dealing with. You could just say, you know what, I'm here.
Hmm.
Tell me what you need me to do. If it's to cook some food or bring some food or
Hmm.
clean your house or just sit with you. Excuse me. And that is a way to
Hmm.
be present. But it happens more often than you think.
Oh, it does.
It
It
does.
does. And I even found sometimes, people will say, well, it's God's will or, things like that. And it's just like, oh, you're fine.
Mm,
Is
mine
it
is been
really, was
dry.
it really God's will? Like,
Right.
there's some people out here and they're doing all kind of things
Mm-hmm.
and they're still living.
This is true.
But why my family member? Why my son? Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's hard to
Yeah.
accept. I feel like I am in let's sit up a little bit, a phase of,
Excuse me.
I would say acceptance. I think
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've accepted that, he is no longer here,
Mm-hmm.
but I still have my moments of sadness, like I was just sharing with you before we start recording. How we get together for his birthday and we had a dinner and my granddaughters, his daughters are there, and the youngest one, like her mom called me this morning and was like, after that she was very emotional,
Mm-hmm.
and she's asking me, well, what to do, and I'm just like, babe, just console her. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have
But you
any?
gave her an answer, because consoling her is good.
Yeah, that's the
You know.
only thing. I just love on her and give
Mm-hmm.
her, extra time and attention and
Yeah.
just, really pay attention to her. But I feel like her, even as a little kid,
Mm-hmm.
crying and showing her emotions is her way of healing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's a good way. Allowing her to express herself
Mhm.
is a very good way to
Mhm.
just be present for
Mhm.
her.
Mhm.
Letting her cry is okay.
Mhm.
A lot of people like, don't cry, don't cry. But
Mhm.
she has feelings
She
and they're
does.
valid.
Mhm.
And so that's important that you're supporting her mom in a space where you're saying it's okay to
Mhm.
just console her and just be there with her.
Mhm.
If she's old enough in a space where she can start journaling, she should journal now.
Mhm.
If you want to take, now this may be tough,
Mhm.
but it may help. You could take a photo of, if she has a photo with him.
She does. Like, she will walk around with his obituary.
Mm-hmm.
When she comes to my house, I have a big picture,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll just, just kind of just stare at it sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and I just allow her to do that.
If you could take it and trace it, a picture that she likes with him and
Okay.
her together,
Okay.
let her color it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What does that do?
It's art therapy helps, but it also, you just say, you could put new colors in. You
Hmm.
know, you could put a different color shirt on him or whatever he had on,
Mhm.
because he's still with you.
Mhm.
He's in your heart,
Mhm.
and it gives her an opportunity to say, "My dad is my dad."
Mhm.
He may not physically be here,
Mhm.
but that love is still there. And this
Yes.
is why I call my organization Replace Loss with Love,
Okay.
because a lot of times we dwell on the loss,
Mhm.
but we forget about the love.
Mm.
And that love is very present. She was very active in that love with her father and vice
Mhm.
versa.
Mhm.
And so she can be in a way, and sometimes kids lead us as well,
Mhm.
because she's saying, I need to let this out. I need to be in a space where I'm allowing myself to realize that my father's no longer in the present, but
Mhm.
he existed, and that relationship existed, and it meant something to her,
Mhm.
and it will always mean something to her.
Mhm.
And so it's just a form of validation, and it may not be something she can do right now,
Okay.
but children, you could teach them to journal. You could just say this is a special book, and you can write whatever you want to write to your dad, in this book, and get
Mhm.
like a really pretty book, or do a project with her and let
Mhm.
her design the cover,
Okay.
right,
Yeah.
of the book, and maybe put his picture on there, and
Mhm.
say, when you feel like you want to talk to your dad, write in here what you're feeling. And it could just be, I love you. Doesn't have
Mhm.
to be a whole page,
Yes.
because she's a child. She could just put in, I miss
Mhm.
you. And
Mhm.
it's something that as she gets older, she could keep
Mhm.
with her, but keeping the memory alive also, because then when she gets older, there's going to be days,
Mhm.
father and daughter dances, there's going to be a wedding, there'll be graduation, and all the big
Mhm.
moments that he physically won't be there, but there'll
Mhm.
be aspects of where you could bring him into it, so
Mhm.
she can always keep her dad in her heart. That's important.
Mm.
But children, people say they are resilient because they are.
They are.
However, they
Mhm.
do have feelings,
They
and their
do.
feelings matter. And I think you're doing a great job just being by her mother's side and allowing her to lean in on you
Mhm.
as well. I applaud you for that, because some people just shut down, because tribes do change. A lot of people do push away after
Mhm.
someone passes,
Mhm.
because they don't know what to say.
Right.
And so when I sit down with ministers and pastors and talk
Mhm.
to them,
Mhm.
I tell them a lot of the times, and they
Mhm.
don't want to hear this, some of them, but
Okay.
when I explain this part, so bear with me, when I explain this part to them, sometimes it's hard for them to accept, but I say, don't come in and lead with God.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. And I was raised as a PK,
Okay.
preacher's kid,
Okay.
and I have a phenomenal relationship with God.
Yes.
That's my man.
Okay.
But
But don't lead with
don't
God.
lead with him.
Okay, so break that down.
And I say this because sometimes that's the last thing someone wants to hear,
It is. I'm telling you.
is, and
Yeah.
then as a leader and as a minister,
Mhm.
to keep the continuity of the relationship, they
Mhm.
already know that you pray. They already know who you are, especially if
Mhm.
they know you're a minister, a pastor,
Right.
an elder, a deacon.
Mhm.
They already know. So you don't have to come in with a sermon. Just come in with your love.
That's true.
This is why the Bible says what it says in all things.
Mhm.
That love
Yes.
is what God said. It's love.
Mhm.
He didn't say you have to tell them, come on, let's pray, let's get on our knees and just
Mhm.
thank God for what we had. And
Mhm.
oh God, hold on.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just got to be gentle, and you have to come in with an approach of, let me just hold your hand.
Mhm.
And then if you say, we don't have to pray, we don't have to read scripture, we can just be.
Mhm.
And it's hard sometimes for people to just be.
Mhm.
But I've had ministers and even pastors of churches tell me, I don't know what to say. I said, so don't say anything.
Right.
Just show up.
That's it.
Just
Just your
come.
presence.
Just show up.
Mhm.
You could pray down heaven, walk in the door and pray down heaven on your way out. But just sometimes you just show up,
Yes.
because then what will happen is the person that's grieving
Mhm.
will come to you and say, you know what, I need to pray with you. And
Mhm.
you can even say on your way there,
Mhm.
on your way out the door, whenever you're ready and you need me to pray with you,
Mhm.
I will pray with you. But you tell God whatever you need to say, because God is a big enough God to handle
Mhm.
whatever we need to say and however we feel and what we feel. He never told us that we couldn't be expressive to him,
Right.
or we had to say it in a certain way,
Yes.
you know. But I just, I've had many illustrious conversations because of my,
Okay.
but the reality is that I have to come with that approach, because that approach is real.
Mhm.
And saying God is with you, or God, you know, um, needed that person, so this is why, is not going to change their grief.
I've heard that so many times, and I just smile
Mhm.
and just
Mhm.
like, thank you, God bless you, but it
Mhm.
still doesn't give you that,
No. And
like,
it's not going to.
no, it doesn't.
It's not. It doesn't help.
No.
And that's what people need to hear,
Mhm.
that, but people say it because they don't know what to say,
That's true.
right? So they don't say it out of malice. They say it because, well, maybe this will comfort them. So
Sure.
now I want to teach people a different, that sometimes it's just don't say anything, or just say, I love you and I am here and I'm
Mhm.
going to get through this with you.
Mhm.
And if it gets really, really tough and you don't know what to do for this person because you
Mhm.
can't handle the emotion where they are at that moment,
Mhm.
it's okay too,
Mhm.
because it will be the moment. You know, even if the person cries all day, it's still the moment,
Mhm.
because life will continue to go on in the hours and the days and the time.
Mhm.
And then the new normal, the adjustment will happen. No, you're never going to be the same, but you will always have the same love. And that's why I want
Mhm.
people to focus more on the love that you have with that person, and the moments that you have with that person, and just really hold that within your heart,
Mhm.
because it's so important. And we focus on the grief and how sad we feel,
Mhm.
that we don't look at the love that's still there.
Mhm.
That no one can ever take that away from you.
Right.
They can't ever take that away from you. They
Yes.
can't. It's
Right.
impossible. It's what you created.
Mhm.
And so for me, I want to remind people,
Mhm.
don't forget about the love. Please don't.
Mhm.
It'll help you on your hardest days, and it'll make you feel like the best you've ever felt on your greatest days.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of people ask me how I deal with losing the loss of someone who I love. Most of my life,
Mhm.
you know, I've lost two people that I love dearly.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna say three, but he was an ex-husband, but we're gonna leave that alone.
I got you.
Don't talk about me, audience.
I
However,
understand. Yeah, I understand.
and I said, you know, but I got to love three men
Mhm.
in an incredible way.
Mhm.
In an incredible way. I
Mhm.
got to love them,
Mhm.
and they got to love me back, and they taught me a lot of things. Whether it was on a day when we had a really bad day, or it was the days that we had really good days,
Mhm.
but they taught me a lot of things. And who am I not to keep that love going? Whether it's showing up for myself
Mhm.
in a great way, or showing up for others in a great way. Who am I
Mhm.
not to just let that love still echo, because they gave it to me freely,
Mhm.
you know? And I'm very grateful for that. And it took me years to get to that space.
Mhm.
It didn't happen the day they passed away,
Sure.
you know? But after some time, when I look back and I'm like, man, you know, it's true. Some people have never had a
Mhm.
really deep, sustaining love in their life. And I've had multiple.
I have to. I recently just lost a guy that I dated for 3 years
Oh,
to cancer.
okay.
He was
Wow.
50 years old, and they say hindsight is 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and we like hate each other or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but I just remember us. We would bump heads.
Mm-hmm.
He was from New York, had a very um, strong, dominant personality, and he was, when my son passed away and whatnot, and I think he also had a hard time understanding what I was going through. But like you said, I think about what he taught me, the time we had, the love that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and I hold it dear to my heart. You know, God rest his soul,
God
and
rest. Yes.
I'm just thankful, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, for the love.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the time that I had with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I can definitely attest to that.
I'm glad to hear that. And, you know, I'm from the East Coast, so excuse me. I should have put
Hmm.
a peppermint in my mouth. Um, I'm from the East Coast, so I
Okay.
understand
Hmm.
the directness of us.
But he was very direct.
I do understand that.
Yeah.
And you know, we're not like that all the time, and sometimes we're just very blunt. Um, but you know, thank you for bearing with the East Coast person, because
Okay,
we're
East
different.
Coast. All
Yes.
right.
Uh, but then you have to think about, like, people leave a mark on your life, right?
Hmm.
And you could meet someone and have a great conversation with them.
Mhm.
Like, this will leave a mark on my life. And if we don't see each other again, I could be like, I remember that was such a great time, such a great podcast, so vulnerable,
Yes.
such a good safe space.
Mhm.
And then you're in Fort Worth and I'm in Grand Prairie.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with someone who comes in your life that passes away.
Mhm.
They leave a great mark on your life. What will you do with it? Is a question that you'll ask yourself eventually.
Mhm.
What are you going to do with that love?
Mhm.
Let it live loud.
Yes. I love that.
Hmm.
Do we have any questions for any of the
Excuse
viewers?
me.
Any questions? TLS? Do we have some questions? They said peace. Who was that? Who
Good
is it?
morning.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone,
Good
viewers
morning.
and watchers. Thank you for watching A Mother's Heart podcast. Appreciate you tuning in. Okay, well, we're going to take a small break and return. And if anyone has any questions, please put them in the comments and we would love to answer it for you. We'll be back in just a few.
Am I the only one that didn't know how transformative sound can be? Why are there not more people talking about how crucial audio quality is for any space? I remember the day I walked into a church, filled with hope and expectation, only to be met with echoes and muffled sounds. The pastor's voice struggled to reach the back rows and the congregation was lost in a sea of confusion. That's when it hit me. Sound is the soul of any gathering place. Every club, school, and hotel deserves clarity and connection. Yet so many buildings suffer from poor audio-visual integration. With DS Sounds, we ensure high-quality equipment is installed seamlessly before the walls even go up. We save you time and money so you can focus on what truly matters, creating a space where voices are heard and spirits are lifted. Let's transform your venue into a masterpiece of sound together. Because when sound is right, everything else falls into place.
Hi, it's Justina here, better known as Breakthrough with Jay, and I have something that I created that I really truly feel is going to help so many people.
Anxiety doesn't have to run your life anymore. Inside this journal, you won't just find prompts. You'll find clarity, tools to help you breathe again, a space to understand your thoughts, not fear them, reflections from someone who's been there and made it out stronger. It's not just about managing anxiety. It's about finding you again. Ready to take your peace back? The 60-Day Anxiety Guidance Journal is now available.
Give up how? Like, give up, give up.
Like give up, like they've reached.
Am I the only one that didn't know how transformative sound can be? Why are there not more people talking about how crucial audio quality is for any space? I remember the day I walked into a church, filled with hope and expectation, only to be met with echoes and muffled sounds. The pastor's voice struggled to reach the back rows and the congregation was lost in a sea of confusion. That's when it hit me. Sound is the soul of any gathering place. Every club, school, and hotel deserves clarity and connection. Yet so many buildings suffer from poor audio-visual integration. With DS Sounds, we ensure high-quality equipment is installed seamlessly before the walls even go up. We save you time and money so you can focus on what truly matters, creating a space where voices are heard and spirits are lifted. Let's transform your venue into a masterpiece of sound together. Because when sound is right, everything else falls into place.
Okay, we are back at A Mother's Heart podcast. We are with Miss Trevi Rose again. She is here with us today. And we're just exploring in the different phases, all types of grief. I'm going to start back. I have a question for you. And it's if someone is about to give up, like they've reached their, just like you said, pinnacle, like, from grief, life, the holidays are coming up, just what would you tell them? Because I know, again, there are different types of grief,
Mm-hmm.
but let's just say someone lost their job they're struggling financially because right
Mm.
now there is a lot of people
Yeah, there
dealing
is.
with financial. It's hard out here with the
Mm-hmm.
prices of everything going up.
Yeah,
Just and just life,
yeah.
lifing.
Life is life. And
So, what advice would you give?
first, I would say don't give up. Please do not give up.
Okay.
Um, if you are in a state where you definitely need help and immediate help,
Mhm.
I want you to call one of the hotlines that are available.
Mhm.
There is a hotline for suicide. There is a hotline for grief as well. There is a hotline for grief.
Mhm.
And I want you to call someone or call a friend.
Mhm.
Call someone to be with you. Even if you can't articulate where you are,
Mhm.
you can tell someone, I'm not okay and I'm not safe.
Mhm.
And start there
Mhm.
because that's so important. I don't want anyone to feel like there's not someone that will talk to you because they have these hotlines for
Mhm.
people and they could give you things that you need immediately to move forward. Um, and I want to be very careful even with the words of saying it here because I don't want someone
Mhm.
to not be able to reach out
Okay.
to me. But whether you reach out to a Mother's Heart
Podcast.
podcast
Yes.
or if you reach out to replacelostwithlove.com, and again, it's replacelostwithlove.com, you can shoot an email. It's replacelostwithlove.com at Gmail. And if you need someone, if you need some tools, get the resources because there are resources there for you.
Yes.
So that's the first thing I will say. If anybody, if you're ready to give up, and I think about Marshawn Keelan, just did a touchdown, was playing with the Cowboys
Mhm.
on the outside of the world. You would think that he was on top of his world,
Mhm.
and he was gone just like that.
Yes.
The reality is, there's resources out here
Mhm.
for someone to talk you through where you are, because sometimes that moment could just be that moment.
Mhm.
That job is replaceable.
Mhm.
Just like you hear the things where people say, "Oh, if something were to happen to you, your job will replace you right away." You have to think about it in the same aspect.
Yeah.
I can replace this job
Mhm.
just like the job can replace me.
Mhm.
And there's things that you can do that you may not be thinking of because you're in a certain state
Mhm.
that you shouldn't be thinking of it.
Mhm.
So let someone else talk with you or just be there for you
Mhm.
or just listen to you. Because a lot of times we just don't listen and stop and listen. And I love to stop and listen
Mhm.
because someone knowing that they've been heard changes a lot for that person.
It does.
And so that's what I could offer. If you are in an acute state where you need something right now, please reach out to a suicide hotline or
Mhm.
a grief hotline or
Mhm.
one of us or someone that can help you. If you have a therapist, call an emergency appointment.
Mhm.
Call a friend that you could trust and be vulnerable with. Now it's very important
Mhm.
that a person that you trust you reach out to. Because
Yes.
you don't reach out to the person that you can't trust,
No.
and then it makes matters worse.
Sure.
But someone who's going to be there with you, that's not going to judge you, that's going to
Mhm.
listen to you, and that's going to sit with you, and also can maybe help you find someone to make another plan with.
Okay.
If they can't make that plan with you, what's the best next step?
Mhm.
But do not give up.
Tell me this: Are there? Do you feel like there's signs or like of people that are like kind of like crying out that we
Mhm.
miss sometimes?
Well, I don't want to say that because that'll put weight on a person to say, I should have
Mhm.
helped this person,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
And then I don't want to put guilt or shame on someone
Mhm.
because the first time I ever dealt with someone that committed suicide, I don't know if we can say that or we need to say unalive themselves because of the
Mhm.
internet.
Okay.
Um, I was in high school
Mhm.
and a young lady shared her locker next to mine.
Mhm.
And I knew something wasn't right. And I said, hey, she said, I'm going home. I said, you sure I could come with you? She was like, no, it's okay.
Mhm.
I'm just going to go home.
Mhm.
I didn't know it was going to go to that extent,
Wow.
but I knew something wasn't right. But I offered to be there for her. And then there's times with someone that you don't know something, you don't know that there's something wrong.
Mhm.
And I'm going to talk about personally myself. There was a time in my life you would have thought she has a pretty decent life. She's doing okay. She survived so much. She's doing well. And I was going to run my vehicle into a wall.
Oh
I was doing
God.
like 90 miles an hour. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go a little faster.
Mhm.
I'm going to let go. And I'm just going to do that because it's easier.
Mhm.
But again, it was the moment was longer than a moment. The
Mhm.
moment lasts for months, but I got through it.
What stopped you?
I know God said he was like, do not do
Mhm.
that.
So it was the voice of God.
It was,
Okay.
do not do that. And it also was me thinking, even in that moment,
Mhm.
what would my family do?
Mhm.
Like I thought about, the role model I am for so many people.
Mhm.
And then I was like, you can treat yourself better. And you could give you the you that you give everybody else.
There you go.
And I was like, okay. So I slowed the car down. And then I had some very transparent conversations with people who I trusted
Mhm.
and people who was like, no, we're not doing that. So we're going to work on what we need to work on
Mhm.
and they were very gentle with me. So someone who I had shared with someone, I said, I'm going to share something with you, but I don't want you to react to it
Mhm.
in a way that's going to push me further away from you. And it ended our relationship
Mm.
because I thought I could trust that person and they did the opposite of what I asked. I said, I just want you to hear me.
Right. Just
That's
listen.
it. I just wanted you to hear me. I said, I'm
Mhm.
safe. I'm not in that state anymore,
Mhm.
but this is what I've been struggling with.
Yes.
And it ended. It really ended our relationship. And this was like, I really value the relationship still to this day.
Mm.
But relationships end. It's season,
Thanks.
reason, a
Yeah.
lifetime. So it was time for our relationship to end because dealing with the reality of what I had just been through
Mhm.
and knowing I was at such a crucial point. Like I
Yes.
was driving the car
I hear you.
and I was ready to let the wheel go. And I said, I just need to go a little bit faster and then I'm
Mhm.
just going to let it go. And I will never be the same before that moment. So I just had to realize that person can't be with me in my new self.
Your new normal.
And
Mhm.
so I know people who I could call right now if I ever feel that way. And I haven't felt that way in years.
Praise God.
And I ask that you trust the process because I'm being very transparent.
Mhm.
This is the second time I've spoken, third time I've spoken about this openly.
Mhm.
Um, and I have people now who I could call and be like, you know what, I'm really not in a good state. If
Mhm.
I needed to call them,
Yes.
I haven't needed to call them since a few
Mhm.
years back, several
Mhm.
years ago now. It's been about maybe almost 5 years.
Okay.
I haven't had to call them since because what I've done intentionally
Mhm.
was be the me that I have been for so many other people.
Yes.
And if I need a minute, I take it. I don't make the announcement. If I'm not available, I'm not available. If I need to sit and meditate, I sit and meditate. If I sit and I need to pray, I do that. If
Mhm.
I need to just go sit and stand and hug a tree, I'm going to do that. Whatever I feel I need in that moment, I'm going to do what's best. If it's adult coloring books, if it's taking paint and painting on canvas, and I
Mhm.
don't know what I'm doing, but it
Mhm.
just feels good to do that. The things that will center me or ground me, or I love music. So when I'm teaching workshops or I'm in a one-on-one class or just speaking with someone, I tell them make a sound sanctuary. It's a playlist, but I like to call it a sound sanctuary.
It's my favorite.
And I'm like, just make that, have something that you'll play.
Mhm.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, I listened to Hamilton
Mhm.
repeatedly for like almost 18 hours of the day. It just made me feel good. Then
Yeah.
some days it's classical. It changes. It's a variety.
Yes.
And then I have some sound sanctuaries that I make for someone that I love that's no longer here
Hmm.
when I need to be in a space with them.
I like that.
And I made it intentionally and I listened to it. And then that's a way that I'm like, you know what, I needed to just remember and feel the presence of this person today. And there's
Mhm.
certain songs for me and that person that just takes me to that space. And after I'm in a better place because I was able to honor that, yeah, they're not here, but they're still here with me because I
Hmm.
still carry that love.
You do that. I was about to say that
Mm-hmm.
love.
Mm-hmm.
Same. When
Yeah.
I'm missing my son, there's certain songs that I play, or I'm thinking of a loved one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tear up, and you know, and then I'll feel good
Yeah.
after.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very true.
Yeah.
We have a comment. Okay, who is this? Let's see. It's for you, my love. Let's see. It's for Trevilla.
I'm reading it.
Can you read it? Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Derek. Okay, so I'm reading the thank you when she said thank you, ladies, for your beautiful for being beautiful and vulnerable. I really hope people are dealing with depression. I hope this helps people that are dealing with depression and grief,
Mm-hmm.
are both simultaneously. A lot of people have thoughts of self harm, aren't able to admit it or express it. Thank you for that comment. And then she said, Shirley, I hope this isn't offensive. Do you feel like the experience was essential for your journey or growth because it was a pivotal moment in your life, even
Mm-hmm.
though it may not have been your proudest moment?
Oh
Thank you,
wow.
Toya.
That's
I
yes.
love
Thank
you.
you, Toya.
That was so sweet and kind. And it's
Yes.
not offensive at all. And it's not my proudest moment, and it's actually kind of tough to talk about, especially when I have this title now,
Yes.
and I'm not saying anything negative against the title because I love being Miss Plus America Elite and Ultimate
Mm-hmm.
Woman, but to say that in such a time of people like she must be on top of the world, and to admit where I have been. But I think about the person at that time.
Oh yeah.
If I had let her go,
Mm-hmm.
I would not have gotten to be who I am today.
I was gonna say the same
Yeah.
thing. Yes.
So it's not offensive at all,
Mm-hmm.
and I thank you for bringing that to the light because um it's definitely the turning point from my journey. Because I am a giver by nature, and I love to give, and
Mm-hmm.
I do give cheerfully. Like I am a cheerful giver. Um and I didn't get it because someone preached a sermon. Like when I read that in the Bible, I was like, that's me, you know?
I think you're born with it. Like it's
Yeah.
something you're either born with it or you're not. Like
Hmm.
you're just a natural giver,
Yeah.
like by nature.
Yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
love to give, right? And then I realized that I could give to other people and also give to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I got to that moment for a lot of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to live without your parents and siblings and loved ones and different people that you really love
Mm-hmm.
deeply. It's tough. And to not have them here in the present at certain times, but I wasn't given enough onus to. They're still here with you
Mm-hmm.
because you still carry that love that they gave you freely,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was truly, Toya, like it was a crucial turning point for me. And then I was like, if I turn some of this love inward, who could I become?
Beautiful.
And you're seeing the becoming of me. I'm not done yet, right? But but people are experiencing
Mm-hmm.
the becoming of me turning my love inward as well,
Mm-hmm.
and also taking that love that I had from parents, and from because I had more than just my birth parents,
Okay.
and the love that I had from men who loved me, and we had these loving relationships, and good friends that love me, and family members that love me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I turned more of that inward as well,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like an explosion coming out now. It is.
It's just oozing out of
It
you. I
is.
feel it. I
Thank.
feel it and I
Oh.
see it. Like our interaction just
Hmm.
off the cuff. Like it's beautiful. It's genuine.
Oh, thank you. Same.
I can totally feel that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very sensitive. I can like normally I can like feel,
Mm-hmm.
and I truly do feel that from you.
No, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate that.
Yes, thank
It just
you.
makes my heart glad. And then I just, like this morning, I had a moment, and I was like, "Ma, I know you're proud of me." And you like, "That's my girl. Hey, hey."
Yes.
I'm on a cover of a magazine this month,
Look at you.
right?
Talk about it.
Who would have
Talk
known?
about it.
So 7FG magazine, and it's
Mhm.
7 figure goals magazine,
Mhm.
but it's 7FG. Follow them on Facebook, and I'm on the cover, and it talks about part of my journey, part of my
Okay.
story,
Yes.
and it just is me no crown, no physical crown, because I'm
Yeah.
always wearing my crown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just grateful to discuss the aspects of who I am, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the love that was given to me so freely,
Mm-hmm.
and people who poured into me, because I've had some great people pour into me that are no longer here.
Yeah.
And
Is there
just,
anyone that stands out in particular that you would like to talk about?
oh, sheesh, man, it's a lot. I
I
don't want to just
know.
um I'm gonna say, because I always say my grandfather, that was my favorite guy. You know, like my grandfather to me could walk on water.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm going to talk about my father's mother, because I didn't get to love her in the flesh as long as some other people.
Mm-hmm.
My father found out after I was born that he was adopted,
Mm.
and then he became an absentee father.
Okay.
And a few years before he died, he found his mother, and then the
Mm.
stories begin to uncover
Mm-hmm.
about what happened in that story, and their story and their journey. And I'm glad that he found his mother before he passed away, and had that reconciliation. But I'm also glad because I was able to meet someone who reminded me of myself,
Really.
because yeah, growing up
Mm-hmm.
in my family, I didn't look like them. um and then it was like I was different from them, because even though I can be direct, a lot of people don't think I'm from New Jersey. They're like, there's no way you have this, like this Southern girl thing going on with
You
you.
do.
Thank you. And so they're like, are you really sure? I was like, yes, I was born in Jersey. Like, there's no way you're not like hard. Now I can be tough,
You
but
gonna
I'm
bring it
not
out.
hard. I can be tough. I could draw a line in the sand, but I'm not I love to be loving. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I met my grandmother, I was like, oh, so this is where I get that from. You know, she was sweet as pie. She when I say sweet as pie, this woman
Mm-hmm.
was just everything. And I had her, and maybe it was 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 20, a little over 20 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
and then she died suddenly.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so that really like took the breath out of me,
Mm-hmm.
because having her love me and having her just be in my life allowed me to become even softer
Mm-hmm.
and just trust all of the love that God gave in me. And yes, you have to, guard your
Mm-hmm.
heart,
Yes.
but I could do it. I could do that and also still be to operate in love. That's my forward movement.
Mm-hmm.
I lead with it. Um, and so I'm just very grateful for her, and that it was just that amount of time. But I'm glad I don't have to imagine life without her, or not have, and not in a space where I ever wasn't able to meet her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so thankful for that.
That's beautiful
You know.
because
Hmm.
I, my whole life, looked for my biological father.
Okay.
Never met him. You know, I had a couple ideas of who it was.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally found out who it was, he was already deceased.
Wow. Okay.
But I found out I have, a huge side of,
Mm-hmm.
family.
Mm-hmm.
I have two amazing brothers. We've bonded. Our kids are actually one of my brothers, our sons were actually in the same school, in the same class.
Mm.
Like, tell me how small, like, the world
Wow.
is.
Okay.
Yes, right. And so I remembering, again, I was on this journey of looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw his picture, without a shadow of a doubt, I knew that was like, we have the same eyebrows, our smirk, our,
Mm-hmm.
he loved to dress. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I have all these things that
Mm-hmm.
are of him. It was great. It was great.
Wow.
It was great, but also another grief,
Absolutely.
another sadness, because I didn't get to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
But I thank God that I got to find out,
Mm-hmm.
who he is, and I have this other amazing side. So
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that.
And I like how you look at it in that perspective,
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't get to look at it in that perspective.
Mhm.
But I say this too, like, there'll be people that'll be in my life
Mhm.
that will never get to meet my mother,
Mhm.
but they get to meet her when I walk in the room.
Okay.
They get to meet her when I have a conversation and I could talk about how we had a very tumultuous relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but there was forgiveness at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's the same, you know, when you walk in the room, people get to meet your father. They may not get to meet him,
Mm-hmm.
and you may not have the opportunity to have a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but with your brothers, with
Mm-hmm.
other family, you get to meet him in that way. You get to meet him in a different way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you think about it, let's talk about someone starting a relationship and they say, oh, in the beginning of a relationship, you meet the representative.
Mm-hmm.
And you do sometimes,
You
unless you're
do.
from the East Coast, because we just come out with it. We take us as we are.
This is it.
Okay.
This is it.
uh,
Straight up.
I do not have time for that unless I take my wig off. And you be like, oh, yes, yes, this is not my hair. Um, but in the same avenue, uh, you get to meet sometimes you get to meet a representative in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
then you get to meet the other person, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's times where you'll fall in love with that person after you get to meet all of them,
Mm-hmm.
their greatest achievements and their greatest flaws, and you
Mm-hmm.
get to love them in totality.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
When you carry those people with you, you get to meet them, but you get to meet them in a different way.
That's true.
Mhm.
That is so true.
So I hope you take that with you.
I do. I do. I always, when I'm around them, I feel such a good energy, um, as though if, my dad is present,
Hmm.
and they always, again, I always say how much I look like him. Even my younger son,
Hmm.
who favors me more,
Hmm.
they say he looks just like our dad.
Wow.
It's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can smile. I love that. You
I
know, that you
do.
can smile. Um and then I tell people, and if you go home later and you have to cry, that's okay.
Yeah.
The smile will come back.
It would.
It will.
It does.
Yeah.
I really try to live a joyful life.
Mhm.
Life is short.
Mhm.
Just on this journey, it's just taught me to just, I try not to live in a state of what happened to me, and
Mhm.
not let the grief, like, I don't like, wear it like it comes. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
yeah.
I feel the emotion
Mhm.
and the different, but I don't let it have like a cloud over my head, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I choose to live in happiness and
Yeah.
bring my best self
Mhm.
every day.
Mhm.
Now, do I have days where I don't want to get out of bed, and
Mhm.
it hits me like a ton of bricks, like the
Mhm.
ocean? It just,
Mhm.
yeah, I have those days.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, I allow myself, if I need to cry, if I
Mhm.
need to write, journal, or just be in my head, in my space,
Mhm.
I've learned to allow myself to do that without guilt, because initially I would feel guilty
Mhm.
about just even just having a day in bed.
Yeah.
It's like, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that.
Mhm.
You can't. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this.
Yeah. I'm glad you do that.
I do, and I show up better when I do that. Hi, she says she has two questions. All right, Miss Toy, what has helped you the most on your hardest days, and what part of your healing surprised you the most?
Good question.
Very good questions. Thank you for that. On my hardest days, what helps me? I think my children, my grandchildren, my mom, just being in the present moment has helped me, and knowing that I still have life to live,
Mhm.
and still have people to love and people that count on me, and that gives me the momentum not to give up, if that makes sense, if that answers your question. Um, it's a God thing,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, I even have people have told me, like, I don't see how you do it. I don't see how everything you've been through, and it's a God, like His
Mhm.
strength is in me,
Mhm.
and I lean into that,
Mhm.
and that is what gives me the strength to carry on
Yeah.
each day. I can't even take credit for it,
Mhm.
honestly. Like, it's truly a God thing, and my faith in God is
Yeah.
what has carried me and got me to this point. And then the second part of the question, let me see one more. What part of your healing surprised you the most? I think the part that has surprised me the most is that I would get to this point,
Mm.
because when it first hits you, you don't even know how you're going to make it the next hour,
Yeah.
not alone the next day. So as each day passes and I get a little bit stronger, I just allow myself that, I
Mhm.
just, again, it's a God thing.
Yeah. And I want to go back to what we talked about earlier when I tell people, especially ministers and pastors,
Hmm.
that don't make God the first thing you say when you come in to a conversation, and your reflection why.
Yes.
He's there.
Yes.
Even if you're mad, he's not going anywhere.
Yes.
He is there.
Always.
And so you'll get to where you are like, you know what? It's a God thing.
It is.
And that's why I tell people be gentle, because right now, let God deal with them how God needs to deal with that person.
Hmm.
You just come in and you be there with them,
Hmm.
because you got to represent you.
Hmm.
God's going to represent himself.
He is.
And so that's a great example of why you don't have to come in. Let's pray. Let's get the holy oil out, because we got to make sure you get through.
Yeah.
You'll get through one day at a
Yeah.
time.
And
You
there's
can
some days you don't even want to do that.
exactly,
Like you're like not even trying to hear it. You're
exactly.
like, I remember initially I couldn't pray. I couldn't,
Hmm.
I was angry. I was
Hmm.
upset,
Hmm.
and I just had to, like I always say, a moment at a time. It's not even
Yes,
a day at a time.
absolutely.
And being gentle with myself and allowing myself whatever I need at that moment,
Hmm.
and to be okay and not feel guilty about it,
Hmm.
and has brought me to where I am now
Hmm.
compared to where I was in the beginning. Because in the beginning, like even my counselor, like she laughs, like I literally was like this,
Yeah.
like you,
Hmm.
there was nothing you could tell me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
son is gone. Like I'm angry. I don't understand why this happened.
Hmm.
What can you possibly tell me?
Right. And I'm not laughing at you when I laugh at that.
No, no, no.
I
I
like
get what
the
you
I
mean.
like that people are able to see the progression, right?
Yes,
And the fact that it's okay for you to go come in there and be like this and be like, okay,
I
or
was.
I'm not going to a church. I don't want to hear y'all sermon.
Yes,
Because the reality is people then get offended. And I'm not saying if you go in and you say something about God, that's not being gentle. It's not what I'm saying either, just in
right.
case somebody takes that. I don't want to translate that in that way.
Yes.
But you have to ask the person what they need. And sometimes what they need is
Mm-hmm.
not what you think they should have, right? And it doesn't matter because you have a title
Mm-hmm.
or you are clergy, you are still a person. It's okay to show up as just a person.
Mm-hmm.
And then let God be the God that we know him to be, and then eventually you'll go and you'll uncross your arms and you're like, okay, I want to hear what you have to say. And then eventually you're sitting here and you have this wonderful podcast,
Thank you.
and people are learning and healing and moving along
Mm-hmm.
because to me, you've embodied what I say about grief is a lifelong companion.
It is.
Once you experience grief, it is there. So yes, you'll have the days when you don't want to get out of the bed.
Yes.
If you ever dated someone or been married or in a relationship, it's some days you do not want to deal with the person that you're dealing with. You
No.
do not like them today, or for that hour.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, you want to be cuddled up and you want to be with that person and you just can't get enough.
Yes.
And that's the same thing with grief as being a companion. It's
Mm-hmm.
a different type of companion, but that companion is lifelong. It will never leave you.
Mm-hmm.
And so some days, for years, I'd sleep with a weighted blanket. I slept with a weighted blanket for years.
I just bought a heated one from Amazon. I
Hmm.
love it.
And that was then it just sleep got a little too good. So I had to,
That's where I'm at right now.
I had to give it to somebody
I love it.
because while I needed to sleep well, it was like, wait a minute. I never want to I just want to stay here and I have too many things to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this weighted blanket to
Okay.
someone. They was like,
I
I
get it.
really want to weighted. I said, I have one. It's perfect
I
for
get
you.
it. I get it.
And so it's the things that help you cope to get
Mhm.
to places that you can look at yourself and be like, wow. And then
Mhm.
I think about, I know my ancestors are proud of me.
Mhm.
I know my grandmother's proud of me. I know my mother's proud of me, my
Mhm.
father, my son,
Yes.
my brother, my sister. I
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
that these people are proud of me.
Amen.
And when people like, I tell them, I said, my extended family is massive,
Mhm.
but my immediate family, I lost 90%.
Really.
Hmm.
So you lost. Do you mind sharing that?
Sure.
Who?
I lost my parents before I turned 40,
Okay.
my grandfather, um, my great grandparents died when I was a teenager,
Okay.
but they were older.
Mhm.
So, but they passed. Uh, I lost a son when I was 26, and then I lost my son's father like 6 months later.
Hmm. So you lost a son too.
Hmm. But I lost
Wow.
a son in pregnancy.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and that guilt that you feel as a parent to not be able to save your child
Mhm.
is a different type of guilt
Mhm.
that I don't want. I wish people didn't have to deal with it. But
Mhm.
that's why I wrote the book, because I'm writing more. Um
That's my next journey.
I'm Oh, that's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
excited.
I'm
Yes.
excited for you.
Yes. Same.
We need
Thank
more
you.
literature.
We do.
And then I got married, and my husband and I separated. He asked me to marry him again. I divorced him. He asked me to marry him again. And I said no. And then he got married. And I was happy that he got married again. And a few months after that, he died. So that was a loss. And that was like all in my 20s. And then I lost a few friends. And it just continued on.
Yes.
Like, my aunts and different people passed
Mhm.
away. I have some uncles on my mom's side and aunts on my dad's side.
Mhm.
Um, but like, as far as immediate, I don't
Yes.
have. I have one. I have a brother from my dad's side and a brother from my mom's side that's still alive.
Hmm.
So
My condolences and heart
thank
to
you.
you. Your
Thank you.
bravery. We actually we had a comment from, was it Miss Toy? Toy? Did you? Oh, DL DLS. Okay, 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 okay. Would you like to read her comment?
Sure. For me, this is Toy. Toy. I'm gonna say Toy because I know who she is. But
Okay.
so I said Toya, but Toy Lovely King.
Yes.
She says, "For me, grief felt like betrayal. To
Mm-hmm.
be transparent, people always say not to question God, but is a time that's a time I had to. The anger, the hurt was so deep, but
Mm-hmm.
later my questions and prayers were answered with understanding. Once again, thank you to amazing, brave women. Oh, thank you.
Thank
This is truly a
you.
ministry, really impactful and inspiring.
Amen.
Thank you, Toy, and thank you
Thank
for being brave and sharing that.
Amen. Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
powerful.
It is.
Yeah,
Again, we
yeah,
definitely want to hear,
mm-hmm,
everyone's
yeah,
story, testimony.
yeah. And I don't know what, like, I won't get all deep, but the
Yes.
Bible says to be slow to anger.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't say not to be angry.
Yeah, because it's an emotion,
It
just
is.
like happiness and all
Yeah,
joy. And
absolutely.
yeah. we-
And I think God can handle it.
Oh,
We
he
won't be
definitely.
we're not the first to be angry with him,
Yeah, definitely.
but I'm glad you got the answers that you needed, Toy. And if you ever need any of us, we're here for you.
We are.
Um, yeah. So God bless you. And thank you for
Amen.
being brave and amazing as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. I have a question. Is there like, just from grief, do you feel like there's ever like I'm healed and I'm good?
No, I haven't met a person yet
Never.
that said I'm healed and I'm good.
Hmm. I had someone tell me one time, because I continue to go to counseling. They're
Hmm.
like, "Oh my God, you're still going? Like, how long is it gonna take?" And I'm just like, "As long as I need it to, and I'm gonna continue to go. And you're not gonna judge me if make me feel otherwise. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
That person might need some counseling.
oh, 100%.
Hmm. And that's okay.
Yeah,
But I, again, when I say lifelong companion, I really believe that
Mhm.
grief is a lifelong companion.
Mhm.
And if you need counseling, get counseling as much as you need.
Mhm.
There's a lot that we have to unlearn,
Mhm.
not just with grief, but just in
Yes.
life.
Mhm.
And um, no one wrote the book on how to accept death,
Mhm.
and then no one wrote the book on how to accept death of a parent, of a child, of a love, of
Mhm.
a this, of a that.
Right.
Right? There's books that talk about people dealing with it,
Okay.
but we didn't get a guide that came in and said this
Mm-mm.
is what you do. Because if we did, then it wouldn't be authors like myself or soon to be authors like you.
Yes.
Because we have to talk about our journeys to help
Mhm.
others navigate their journey. It's still going to
Yes.
look different, but at
Yes.
least we can give them something along the way. So I don't believe that. And I tell people that's one of the things I do in that validation. When you ask me that first question about one thing I could tell people
Yes.
dealing with grief,
Yes.
don't give yourself an end date.
Mm.
Because for me, now this is just for me personally,
Okay.
if I give it an end date, that means I give the love that I have with that person an end date, and I don't want to do that.
Yes. I
I
love.
love my family.
Mhm.
I love the men that I loved. I
Mhm.
love the thought of I'm gonna be a mom with this baby I was carrying.
Mhm.
So to say, oh, I have to have an end date, I can't grieve this anymore.
Mhm.
What does that mean for the love? To me,
Yes.
that's my own personal.
Yes.
And if someone can resonate with that, but if I cry 20 more years from now,
Mhm.
that just means that love was in my life. And I'm crying because love was there. And I had something to cry about, and I had
Mhm.
someone who I love deeply, and
Mhm.
vice versa.
Mhm.
So that's where I honor that for me, is that that's okay. And
Mhm.
I've been in counseling since 2012.
Mm.
I went to my counselor because I didn't know grief educators existed.
Okay.
So
Me
a
neither.
lot of a lot of therapists and doctors, they
Mhm.
go and get this certification because they
Mhm.
don't have it in their in their
Mhm.
medical training.
Sure.
And so I went to my therapist in 2012,
Mhm.
2011,
Mhm.
and I said I need to talk to somebody. She said, "Well," I said, "My mom is dying." She said, "Okay." I said, "And I don't know how to be her daughter once she leaves."
Mm.
And she said, "Let's talk about it." She was like, "But you have to know you're healthier than most people, because for you to have that revelation,
To even come, yeah,
right?"
that speaks volume.
So I appreciate her acknowledging that.
Mhm.
And this is why, even during a hard time now in my life, and having being in acute grief
Mhm.
with multiple losses this year,
Mhm.
I know this was my calling, because then I knew I needed someone
Mhm.
that could just be there for me to help me guide this new person
Yes.
that was coming,
Mhm.
that I did not know who she would be, represent, or how she would function.
Mhm.
She's not perfect, but I love her.
Yes.
That's all I got.
It shows. Like I
Thank
said, it just
you.
it just oozes out
Oh,
like
thank you.
so gracious and a great listener and
Thank you.
God fearing woman. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's
Same to you.
beautiful.
I respect it. I'm so thankful to be here.
Thank
I am.
you.
Love
Thank
you.
you. Do you have any questions for me or do you last time the guy that was here, Eric, he was like, let me interview the interviewer.
Hey, come on, interview that now.
Isn't that so
So
fun?
I would like to know. This is really gonna sound like an interview, like a question of what is your goal for you
Hmm.
in this holiday season,
Okay.
as someone who's grieving,
Hmm.
and you have multiple losses, right?
Yes.
So that's called compound grief for people who may not know that.
Hmm. Break that
And
down a little bit before I answer that
okay,
question.
so compound grief is when you had grief on top of grief on top of grief, like stacking hands.
Yes.
And again, it doesn't have to be a loved one. It can be anything that you lost. Sometimes we ask people to do a timeline, a 10-year timeline. And one thing I challenge people to do is do a 10-year timeline,
Hmm.
and don't write a loss of a person, but things that you lost. It could
Okay.
be sense of self, it could be a job,
Hmm.
it could be a photo that you loved, it
Hmm.
could be a piece of jewelry that you love, it could
Hmm.
be someone lost their house because they lost it in the fire.
Hmm.
Anything that you write. And
Hmm.
I say, now look at that timeline
Hmm.
in 10 years, on top of you dealing with a loss of a loved one.
Hmm.
Think about how much you haven't put in the forefront of your life.
Hmm.
And that you have survived so much. One, I'm proud of you for surviving so much, and I really
Mm.
mean that to you.
Thank you.
But also, you are your own superhero because sometimes we don't think about the things that we really are grieving,
Hmm.
that we don't take the time for because life is moving so fast, or we
Hmm.
didn't get the validation that we need to adhere to that.
Yes.
Right. So for me,
Hmm.
I applaud you in that. And if you do that, think about it. Just write and don't write about a loss, but things that you had to grieve. It could leave a position
Hmm.
that you really put your all into,
Hmm.
or you got fired and you're
Hmm.
like, I really love that job and I have these coworkers that I'm not around anymore. Those things matter too, right? So that's compound grief. So for me, my question, if that did that answer your question?
It does.
Okay.
And I just want to, because I've dealt with compound grief
Mhm.
over my life.
Mhm.
I shared a little bit of what happened with my mom, when I was 7,
Okay.
mental illness came upon her.
Mhm.
So it was a role reversal. So that was a grief,
Yeah.
huge,
Mhm.
So I had to like be the mom at a young age.
Mhm.
And then I just think about other things from, divorce to closing down a business, my
Mhm.
son passed. And I feel like things happen to me like I get hit with things all at once,
Yeah.
you know. And I've also, miscarried and lost a baby. So I understand that too.
Mhm.
So I totally get it.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
And that is a massive amount of grief that you have to
Yes.
deal with.
Yes.
And sometimes we'll tell people take that one off the list
Hmm.
and just focus on this today.
Yeah.
And then when you want to go back and take the other one out that list,
Hmm.
focus on that today
Yes.
or for that month
Hmm.
because you want to acknowledge I lived through this.
Hmm.
I survived this. Because people don't even talk about losing a business. That's a grief,
Oh, it was, yeah.
you know?
It was stressing me.
Mhm.
I was just to the point of, and it's right when my son passed away, people started leaving,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And that is their free will to do so,
True.
right? I can't make
Mhm.
anyone stay. But it was at such a time where,
Mhm.
like, man, I can't believe this is happening right now. And I finally just made peace with, maybe, you know what, Sheree, maybe God is, you don't need this in your life right now, and it's okay. It
Yeah.
doesn't make you less of a person, less of a business person. You still have your clientele.
Mhm.
You have options.
Mhm.
This is just not the option for you right now.
Yeah.
And once I made peace with it, man, I can't even tell you.
I love that.
I have my suite and I go there and I bask in the glory of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's great. I don't have the responsibility of the this or the that
Mhm.
everything that comes with. It's like my plate was so full, right?
Mhm.
And I'm so used to carrying. It's almost like this weight, like the Erica Badu Bag Lady.
Bag lady. Mhm.
That is like one of my favorite songs because I mean it speaks volume. And I
Yeah.
was I was the bag lady and I
Yeah.
didn't know how to release and let it go and be okay with it.
Mhm.
And now that I have, I'm light as a feather.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't want to play God. I don't want the superhero feeling
Mhm.
like I have to save her. Like
Mhm.
I've truly been on a let go
Yeah.
at this phase of my life, if that makes sense.
That does. That does.
That was a bar.
That was. Because you helped a lot of people understand that you can keep moving in a different direction,
Oh man, and it's
but still
okay.
not lose your identity.
Man,
That's awesome.
truly,
I love that.
truly. I'm
Okay.
sorry I got off for a
No, you're
second.
good. So my question to you, this is my question.
Okay.
Um, is what is your goal for this holiday season
Okay.
with dealing with compound grief?
Hmm.
And then what is your goal for the next 5 years? Because I'm gonna come back and check on you and be like,
Okay.
okay,
Okay. I'm gonna answer that, and we're gonna
okay,
close out.
okay.
For the holiday season, it's just to enjoy
Hmm.
my grandkids, my kids, my family. I do sometimes get sad because the memories come and
Yeah.
the reality of my son not being here, but that's when I choose to celebrate him
Hmm.
instead of letting it be such a sad event. I try to
Hmm.
reverse it and make it of he was here and the like you spoke on the love. I think of the love.
Hmm.
So that also that helps me through the holidays.
That's
And
good.
also if I can help someone else, sometimes
Hmm.
um, helping others, it takes off of what you're going through.
Hmm.
So if I can be a help of to someone, that helps me.
I love that. In the next 5 years.
The next 5 years, again, my goal is to write a book. Um, I want to continue the podcast, um, travel more. Um, I want to do merch, T-shirts, journals, bracelets, things
Hmm.
like that.
Hmm.
Just continue to grow and to
Yeah,
continue to heal.
I love that for you.
Thank you,
It's gonna
thank you,
happen.
thank you,
It's
thank
out in
you.
the atmosphere now.
It is.
I
We
love
put it
that.
out there. So, okay, Derek has told me I have went over. DLS told me I went over my time, but we just got so, you know, talking about everything. But thank you for joining in on a Mother's Heart podcast. If anyone is interested in being on this podcast, reach out to me or Derek, DLS, or you can go to a mothersheart.com. We would love to have you. And we thank you. Also, if anyone wants to be a sponsor, let us know. We are looking for sponsors for the podcast. We greatly appreciate you. We thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode. And thank you to Miss Trevilla Hodge,
Yes.
Miss Rose.
Hmm.
I didn't mess it up too bad.
No, you did. It was perfect.
Okay, great,
Hmm.
great. I didn't want to chop it up.
Thank you for
Thank you
having me.
again and wish you all the best, continued success. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank
And until next time. All right. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.